Plane launch. We'll just go cruising around Kansas City. We've got some special speakers tonight. I hope you come wanting to learn something about real estate. Some people who, guys who have been in the real estate business for quite some time, reached levels of success. And that really is what it's all about, isn't it? Is reaching a level of success to support the lifestyle that you like to have or that you want. I know for me, real estate has been one of the best ventures I've ever been in. Started right at the beginning of the market crash. And everybody around me was saying, Dave, really, I think you've lost it. You've really missed this one, buddy. You know, housing is not the best thing to get into right now. And, but you know, it's when you learn the techniques, when to buy, how to buy, where to buy, and you learn the different exit strategies that are available to you and what you can do. There's nothing the market can do that would keep me out of real estate. Whatever the market does, there's a way to make money in it. And it's a matter of educating yourself, knowing what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and then pulling the trigger. You know, some people triple their dollars to get the numbers. You know what I mean by that? And what I'm saying by that is, instead of investing in an education in real estate, they're looking at, and that's going to cost, how much is that going to cost? It's going to cost me, what, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever. Some of you would be bored. Everybody on the board knows what I paid to get into real estate. And if I told you that tonight, some of you really would probably fall out of your chairs. And I did it on a credit card.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, and she was my mortgage broker, and she made me swear after she set up to help me set up the first deal that I would pay off those credit cards, and we did. And we've been off the races ever since. So real estate, you know, is one of those tools that will, it's provided me the opportunity to go to, not only do business here, but go to Hawaii, go to San Diego, we're getting ready to go to Florida here. So, you know, it's one of those things that if you're willing to step out and take a calculated risk, it pays huge dividends. And I could look around the room and look at guys that would vouch for exactly what I'm saying, because they've reached those levels of success in real estate. So anyway, great program lined up tonight. I'm really excited that you're here. And this is our VP, Cindy Seeley. Most of you know her. If you don't, she's that lady that sits back there in the corner. That's where she needs to stay, in the corner.
I'm a quiet person.
Yeah. You're bashful, just like me, right? Yeah.
I'm more of a smarty pants than you.
So I'm the nice one.
Yeah, you're the nice. I'm nice. But I can be wicked. I'm honest.
So, anyway, we have a great program lined up tonight, and we'd like to get this thing started. So, Cindy, there's a few things that you would like. Oh, before I say anything, let me just recognize the board for this year. And that is, you know, I would like to say my hat's off to everybody on the board member at KCIG for the years of service, the time that they spent on the board, the hours we've spent in board meetings, talking about different issues, what to provide for our members, what to do. And, you know, I'd just like for you guys to take a second, give them a round of applause just to say thank you. I'd also like to recognize our vendors here, Investor's Choice and We Fund Rehabs. Both you guys just stand up back there, and what I'd like for you guys to do is turn around, take a look at those. Those guys have money. Can you do real estate without money? No. Do you want to use Your money?
No.
Say that again.
No.
No, you do not. Now, most of us in here know what OPM is, right? Don't say that too fast, because it sounds like opium. OPM. Old people, what?
Old people's money. I made them laugh.
Other people's money. That's how you
Like
do
the
it.
old people.
And you know that this day I have not used 1 cent of my own money to purchase real estate. It's always been with other people, whether it was through a mortgage broker or private money. So, you know, it can be done. You have to educate yourself. So thank you guys for being willing and being there for our investors. Thank you so much. Give those guys a round of applause. In fact, if you guys want to come on up, Scott, why don't we start with you? Come on up, just take about 2 minutes and tell us about Investor's Choice.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Scott Facinis, as David said, with Investors Choice Funding, and we are a private equity fund. We lend money to fix and flippers in 4 primary markets: Dallas. Some of you are doing deals in Dallas. I was talking to earlier. Dallas, Denver, Omaha, and Kansas City, and then KC Metro. I should be specific on that. And then we lend money nationwide for those of you wholesaling. If you're doing transactional funding, whether it's residential or commercial, we've got a small private equity fund that will lend for that as well. So those are things we can help you with. One of the things that's unique about us is I always think of something different. I want to say something different every time I get up here. So those of you who've seen me in a regular attendance go, oh, okay, I didn't know that. You know, I see Mike smiling back there. But you know, something different about us, we lend 70% of the after repair value, and you can roll in our origination. That's something different. You know, we deploy 20% of our escrow funds for your rehab at closing. That's something different. Our appraisals, 7 to 10 days. They're typically coming in at 6 days, but I'm required to say 7 to 10 days. That's something different. And then right after the appraisal gets back, we're ready to fund. We're ready to close. That's something different. We move fast. We're lean. We've been doing this for 15 years. We have a phenomenal track record, which is something that's pretty cool. We've only had 1 foreclosure. How many hard money lenders do you know that have had tons of foreclosures? Some of them, not us, but some of them actually go after the properties. They do a bad loan and go to foreclose. So I think I'm coming close to the 2 minutes. But so keep in mind, you know, you've got good people that do good business here. I would say seek them out and build that relationship. Thank you.
One question for you.
Sure.
Let's say that I've got the money for the purchase.
Okay.
Can I come to you for the money for rehab?
You should.
Keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, we've got people that buy on the courthouse steps, and they've got cash to do the transaction because you got to get the deal when the deal's there. And then they say, hey, we're a little liquid right now. Can we work something out? Well, we could fund their rehab. We can do all kinds of things. The thing is, we fund 70% of the after repair value.
There you go.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott.
You bet. Thank you.
How about Casey Lynn? You want to come up for just a few minutes? Great.
How you guys doing? We're a local hard money lender here in the Kansas City area. We know the market. Kind of what we do is we've been buying houses here since 1993, and we took that side of our business and put it over into our lending business. So we really know the good areas to buy them here, and we're really here to help you guys. You know, if you're a first-time flipper, you know, we're here to help you with finding a good contractor, to make sure that your scope of work is right, so you're going to sell the house where you want to sell it at. And if you're an experienced investor, you know, we're here to move quick. You know, the fastest time I've ever funded a deal is 24 hours. So we can move stuff very fast. So, thanks, guys. I'm a little short of 2 minutes.
And we'll give you credit. So, you can see that there's absolutely no reason for anybody that's new, and I spoke to a couple of newbies here tonight looking to get into real estate, And I say newbies, I was a newbie at one time. That's not a derogatory term, it's just where you are. In '08, April of '08, I didn't know anything about what I do today. But you take the time to invest in education, and get there, and you find the money. Pull the stinking trigger. You know, how many people I've talked to over the years who, they're on the precipice of something, they've got a good deal, they really don't know what they've got, but they've got a fantastic deal. I started saying name, but I won't. Guy I used to still do business with, but it took him a long time to pull the trigger. One of those analytical guys, you know? Analyze and analyze and analyze and analyze and analyze and analyze it to death. And finally, you just grab him by the hand and say, come on, we're going. Yeah. But just pull the stinking trigger, guys. There is so much fun, so much money to be made, so much of, what you want in life is there. Cindy?
Well, one thing I want to say while you're talking about that, I'm only 29, but I've got 32 years in real estate. And one thing I would recommend, I've been with investors for 14 years, I believe. Do your due diligence. I've heard in the 14 years I've been with investors, I could write a book. But now it's come to light a little bit more. I mean, I'm seeing it, interaction, whether it be someone borrowing your money that you trust, and not having your I's dotted and your T's crossed, and getting all that money taken away from you, whether it be a contractor, whether it be a real estate expert. I'm wicked, we all know that, and I ask for proof. I tell them, I come from Missouri, you got to show me. Show me your HUD, show me your resume, show me your recommendation. Because just like in any other business, you want to make sure getting in that, that it's people that are reputable and for their word, not for the money.
That's good advice.
The other thing I would tell you, telling me a lender standpoint, investors do not typically, they don't do market research. And I'm going to tell stories, I don't use names. I had an investor back in the day when they would buy in the core and go Section 8. We've all seen it. He had 65 properties. He cash flowed $300 a month. He had a $55,000 investment on each property. Out of pocket only $500 because they're so good.
Back in the day.
And what happened when I say the market? Section 8. And it doesn't matter, it's not just Section 8, it's any. Do your market analysis. Section 8 tenants tend to move every year. When they moved, he didn't do his long-term analysis. Then there is a cost of $2,500 to $3,500 on the low side. So there goes your cash flow. This person lost everything, okay? And so do your long-term analysis. Check your markets, not only the valuation of the property and sales, but also of your buyers or your tenants. You can do, with all the technology we have, you can do a ton of research. Don't overanalyze, but do enough analysis. Do a long-term business proposal. If you're going to have rentals of 3 to 5 years out, come from a banker. Mm-hmm. Do a longer-term analysis. Real estate is a great investment. It truly is. I'm not trying to bust the balloons, but do a longer-term analysis.
Yeah, no, I mean, she is exactly right. And over-analysis is after you do your due diligence once. Over-analysis is doing it the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. That's over-analysis. Once the numbers work, it's a deal. It's a deal. The numbers work, it's a deal. If the numbers don't work, you pass it up. I don't know how many houses I look at and the homeowner swears, this is really a good deal for you, Dave. You need to buy it now. And you just take for me, about 30 minutes now. Go down, run through the numbers. And I know I looked at one and they were asking, I don't know, it's like 50 or 55. And the best I could do is like 32 to make it work for me. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So what Cindy is saying, somebody that is still very near and dear to me, talking about, it's along the lines of due diligence, but they didn't have the exit strategies set up right. So at one point, they were worth $7.8 million. That was their net worth. After the market crash, and when things started happening, they're now living on Social Security. Because they didn't have their exit strategies set up. So it's not just buying, it's not, how many of you have seen the HGTV, Flip It or Flip It or Lose It or Love It or something? I've seen a couple, what is it?
Love it or list it, where they
Love It or
always-
List It, yeah, that husband and wife team.
They figure out their numbers after they can't afford to fix the room.
They go buy it blind at an auction, pay more than what they think it's worth. The rehab costs them more than what they always plan, and they always sell it for more. It takes them longer than they think, and they always sell it for more than what they thought. Guys, that's not real. It's all about ratings, okay? Just keep that in mind. The TV shows are all about ratings, and if they can't get anybody to watch, they have to do something with people.
So they're making money off that TV show.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, anyway, I was invited to do one here in Kansas City.
You were?
Yeah, I turned it down.
Was it a spam?
No,
Did they want
it
your
was
bank
really,
account?
yeah, it was a real deal. They're looking into it, but yeah, no, you gotta have an office staff, and that was not the direction I wanted to take my business. So, anyway, that being said, you've got some flyers and some things.
No, have you ever, we want to talk about the club?
Yes, we do. We want to talk about the club. Most of you know or have heard, maybe by the grapevine, whatever, that this is our last regular meeting for a while. We are, as a board, as an executive committee, we got together and decided that we need to step back. We need to take a fresh look at KCIG. We need to reorganize, revamp, restructure, take a fresh look at bringing it from the 80s and 90s up to the 21st century. What do we need to do to change it? So what we want to do is at the end of this year, we will be closing down KCIG. We will still have our Christmas dinner, December the 10th, at Cinzetti's at 7 o'clock. And everybody is invited to come. And we hope we have a big crowd. And, but our goal is not just to have a third Thursday meeting every month. That's not our goal. Our goal is to provide you the tools and the value you need to be successful in this real estate venture. Our goal is to not only attract new people interested in real estate, but to keep the seasoned investors, too, to make it profitable for them to come and offer them a value for being a member of KCIG. So all of that's the bigger scope of everything. And so we are going to take, after December 31st, we'll be shutting down the website, Facebook, all of that stuff associated with KCIG. We'll no longer have any monthly meetings. The board, the executive committee, I should say, the executive committee is going to take a 6-month hiatus. We will meet again in June and begin to restructure. And then if any of you are interested in helping to participate and be a part of that restructure, then get with Cindy and I. And we will put you on a list. We've talked with some people who are interested in that. And, we will discuss with you what we are looking for and what we want and what we expect out of that. So, anyway, that's the future of KCIG. We have we take great pride as a board in what we offer and what we want to offer to our members. It's important to us that your success is there, available to you, and we want to be a part of that. And we want to make everything that we do in KCIG, we want to give you the ability to reach your goals. So that's the overall picture of where KCIG is headed right now. So the executive committee consists of the president, the VP, secretary, and treasurer. And so if you would like to be a part of this restructure, then again, get with Cindy and I, and then we'll be happy to sit down with you, talk with you, and let you know what we expect and what direction we're headed.
Now, because primarily what we would need at this point from you, if you're interested, you can email Dave or I, say, hey, I'm interested in participating, and give us your email, your name, your email, and your cell phone. You know, we're gonna take a 6-month hiatus, and then, you know, we will keep you in the loop at that point. So that, you know, if you have a passion, you know, for wanting to help rebuild the club, email Dave or I, okay? Because, I mean, the club, it's been around since 1978. It's, at one point, it was like my baby. So, but I won't cry. Now, tonight too, couple things. Did you all get snacks?
Yeah, I mentioned them over there. There's still a lot of cookies over there. So even during the meeting, feel free. This is not formal, okay,
Yeah.
by any means. If it were formal, I would not be up here. So if you're hungry, you need something to drink, you need a snack, feel free to walk over to the counter and get something.
Now,
Okay?
and then something else. We're going to do a raffle. It's free, okay? All the product we had in our library is over there with Dennis on the table there. Drop your business card in that bowl, and then Dave and I, towards the end, we will draw a card out, and you'll be able to pick the stack of information you want. It's free. We just don't want to trash it.
Yeah.
So, now the other, yes, sir?
See what I have to put up with?
I just wonder between now and December or now and the end of the 6 months about our affiliation with the vendors, you know, the providers, the carpet people, the paint people, et cetera. What's the status of that?
They should honor it, I would think, through the first part of the year. The other thing I wanted to see, we have these Sherwin-Williams cards that we always give out to members, but I don't want to throw them away. So anyone that wants Sherwin-Williams cards, it's for discounts. They're good through the end of the year, typically, sometimes longer. So if you all want any of these, we've got these, okay? And then the other thing Kim was telling me about, this is a great product too, tenant screen. If you all are going to have tenants, you need to do credit, background, the whole bit. Screening on you. But yeah, I would suggest using this. Kim said it's a very good service, okay? So here's flyers for you on this as well, okay?
National Rio.
National Rio promotes it. So that's good, okay?
Okay.
So-
If you're gonna rent, that is key. You don't wanna let just anybody, if you buy a property and you sink 15, 20 grand back into it to make it livable and nice, the last thing you want is somebody that's gonna live there a year and then be gone, or somewhere in that year be gone, and put new holes and who knows what else. So tenant screening, I don't know about you, but I have a very strict lease agreement and a very strict tenant screening process. So, yeah, very.
And you all, one thing we brought up before at a meeting, we had someone come and talk about reentry. The other thing you can do, if you find out when you have this that you've got a felony, okay? You can pick and choose as long as it's in writing and talk to your attorney. That's when I cover my backside. You can pick and choose what kind of felony, okay? So if it was someone 30 years ago that got in trouble for marijuana versus someone that, you know, hurt a child 5 years ago, you can pick and choose the felonies that you will accept. But I believe, talk to an attorney, I think it has to be in writing, your criteria. But you can do that. And a lot of times, a lot of investors wasn't aware of that, and we had reentry come in and talk. You can pick and choose what type of felons you will accept.
Just along with that, I hope that you understand that when you start having people fill out rental applications and that sort of thing, that if you're going to keep that kind of stuff on file, you need to have a secure location for that, to keep that kind of information. even though I have a home office, now my office has a lock on it, I have a lock on the file cabinet. I make it just as secure so that, because some of that information is even now on my computer. So when it's not being in use, it's turned off, and only 2 people have the access to that office. It would be myself and my office manager. So it's, that when you start renting and you start taking people's social, you start running credit checks and you get that information back, then you need to have a secure location to keep that kind of thing. So it's just little things like that that make a huge difference if you're going to be a landlord.
And it, that's a big deal right now with the feds. Maybe not with the small investor, but eventually, because someone break in your house and they get my pay stubs and my bank statements or my credit report. God, they wouldn't get nothing from me, but a lot of people they would. So you do, for security, you have to be very cautious. Lock them in a file cabinet. If you've got them on the computer, you've got to we have locks on our computers where we have to have logins,
Yeah, mine, even if it goes to sleep and somebody gets wake up or hits a key and wakes up, you got to know the login to get back into it, that type of thing. So, okay. What are we missing?
Make sure, all right, the Christmas party is next month, the Christmas dinner at Cinzetti's. And the information's on here. It's going to be December 10th at 6:30, and I think dinner's at 7.
I said 7, so 6:30, that's the correction. Be there at 6:30,
Dinner's served at 7.
that's it.
And if you can go in, and it's on this, if you can go in, just so we can keep track of how many is coming. You don't have to pay ahead of time or buy a ticket ahead of time, but just so we know how many to get, how big a table. Okay?
We will be charging for anybody that wants to sit at Dave's table or Izzy's table. There will be a fee for anybody that wants to sit there.
I know Pam will be sitting with you.
No, just joking, guys, just joking, All right.
Add those to the raffle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I like that idea. Make the raffle money after the check out to Dave's retirement fund. Okay, before we do the raffle, there's a bowl. Where's the bowl?
Right there.
That's a cup. If you have a business card and you haven't put it in there, and you would like an opportunity to maybe have your card drawn to receive some of the library material, all of that's going to be given away. We're liquidating our library tonight, and because we're reorganizing, there's some things that we're liquidating and doing that kind of thing, kind of cut down on what we have to store and hold on to.
And if you don't have if you don't have a card, they've got some of my business cards over there. Just write your name on the back.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, board members excluded. I thought you were walking over there, Carl. Yeah, grab a cookie while you're over there, too. Not over there? Guys, while you're doing that, just let me say one thing. Real estate can get to be a job. By that, I simply mean I found myself thinking about it 24/7. And that's not good. Because then you start shutting other things out of your life and start letting other things go. Because that was consuming, how to set up my business. What do I need to do in the office? I need to look at this property. I have this appointment coming up. How can I get more appointments? How can I keep that steady stream of properties coming down the pipeline, So, what I do nowadays, Sundays are an off day. When I answer the phone, That's family day. I chill, spend the day with my wife. She is also my business partner, so we do spend a lot of time together. But we don't talk about business on Sunday. We chill. We go to the kids' house. We get the grandkids. You know, it's one of those days. Thursday is my day. I don't go look at properties. I don't make phone calls. I don't look at email. I get up and stay in my jammies if I want to till who knows when. I go get in my truck and just go for a drive out. I'm just a simple country boy. That's all I am. Nothing fancy. Some Thursdays, I just get in my truck and I'll just go drive, find me a place out in Ray County, find a dirt road, and just drive for 2 or 3 hours and see what I see. You know, just relax. I don't think about business. I don't think about things coming up. And I take that time for myself. So, work hard, work your real estate business. That's what I'm saying. Let it be your business and go for it with a passion. But give yourself a day or two, somewhere every week, to walk away from it, to get away from it. Otherwise, you find yourself in about, or at least for me, about every 3 or 4 weeks, if I don't take a break, my wife will tell you I'm not fit to live with. Just because I'm always talking business, I'm always going, I'm always doing, I'm never taking a break, I'm never, you know, and that's not a good thing. I can make just as much, I can think clearer, I can think faster if I take those breaks, and I can make smarter decisions if I do that, and it becomes a business that I truly enjoy and look forward to every day. So, that won't cost you anything extra. That's just a little tidbit, all right? So, we got all the tickets or all the business cards in the rack, in the bowl. So, all right, yeah. Why don't you bring it up here, Dennis, that bowl. Yeah, here. That way I can't cheat. Okay, let's see. Here we go.